All right, everyone. So it is that time of the month. As always, we are getting closer to the release of the newest chapter of the Boruto manga, Boruto chapter 74. And we do have some spoilers here. So as always, I will warn you that if you do not want to be spoiled on anything in regards to the newest chapter of the Boruto manga, please leave the video. This is not going to be the video for you. If you are still here, I'm gonna assume you are either okay with spoilers or you've probably already read them and you want to hear someone else's thoughts and opinions on them. Okay, so if you're still here, you can't say I didn't warn you. And before we get to the video, as always guys, I do have to ask you that if you want to show your support for the channel, if you like what I do here, please consider leaving a like, sharing this video out there, hit the subscribe button if you haven't, make sure to ring the bell for notifications if you do, and as always, comment down below with your thoughts on everything we talk about here in this video. So with all that stuff out of the way, let's go ahead and get to these spoilers. And as always, I do have to give a big thank you to Organic Dinosaur for sharing this with us. Guys, please consider heading on over to her Twitter account and make sure to follow her and show her some support as thanks for sharing this information with us. So according to her, this is the chronological content composition of the actual chapter. It's 17% Ada and Damon departing the train station, 10% Kawaki, Boruto, Konohamaru, Chad plus Tiny Momoshiki flashback. And this is interesting because I do wonder if maybe this is Kawaki possibly telling Boruto and Konohamaru about what he saw in the Hokage office when Momoshiki manifested behind Boruto, and it seems like Boruto didn't even notice that it did happen, which if that's the case, then Momoshiki is even more of a problem than he was before, because every time we've seen Momoshiki manifest in the past, Boruto has always been able to sense him, with the exception of, the one time where, he was, I guess for a short period of time, killed by Kawaki and then had his missing or damaged, organs replaced by the leftover DNA from Momoshiki's karma mark. That was the one time where Boruto didn't even notice that Momoshiki had manifested, which in that instance, it kind of made sense. But now it seems like Momoshiki can manifest without Boruto noticing, which, like I said, makes him even more of a problem than he was before. So I do wonder if maybe that's what they're talking about right here. That's just my guess. We don't have a detailed breakdown of what actually happens in the chapter like we sometimes get. If we do, I'll make a video talking about it. But until then, we're just going to go off of this. 34% Team 10 plus Team 7 meet and greet with Ada and Damon at the house. Damon being a problematic menace, or 27% Damon being a problematic menace, and 12% post-battle recovery and Chad. By the way, speaking of Damon being a problematic menace, that's going to be the thing that I know for a fact a lot of people are going to talk about when it comes to this chapter, and we'll get to that. Don't worry, we'll get to that. Let's move on to the next one. So it says right here, chapter 74 is titled Baptism, i.e. like a christening, initiation, or first time experience. And based on what happens later in the chapter, I think I might know why they specifically chose to call it a baptism. And the person on the cover is Mitsuki. So for all the Mitsuki fans, there you go. So he's going to be on the cover this time. And the splash text is, "For the sake of the one I want to protect." Now, I don't know what they're specifically referencing. Again, I want to wait until we get the actual chapter to get full context of what's actually happening or what this specifically means. But let's move on over to the next one. So it says right here, people blushing profusely when meeting Ada when she floats or flies in and makes eye contact, not including randos. Sai, Inojin, Chocho, Mitsuki, and Konohamaru overstimulated plus fell backwards off the stairs. Moegi, no direct eye contact. Sarada and Shikidai are seemingly fine for now, and that's interesting. That's actually really interesting. So we do know, according to Amado, that Ada's ability affects people differently. Like, it's not always making you feel the emotions that you feel whenever you're falling for someone. It affects people differently. So I wonder if Sarada, Moegi, Shikidai have been affected differently than, Sai, Inojin, Chocho, Mitsuki, and Konohamaru. I do wonder about, again, I want to wait until we get the actual chapter and see the actual panels to have full context for what's actually happening before I, give my thoughts on that. So let's move on over to the next one. And this is the one that I knew the second I saw it, people were going to be discussing the most. And this might be what the chapter means by being titled, or this could possibly be the meaning by the chapter being titled Baptism. So we have Damon 1v1 and one-shot KO. So he goes up against Kawaki, he goes up against Boruto, and he just one hit KOs them. And I'm wondering if maybe that's what he or that's what he meant by titling it baptism. I'm talking about Kishimoto. Because again, it's like, according to this, it says Kawaki's dojutsu manifested 5 short black rods which were easily caught by Damon. Damon kicked him in the face. Boruto then attempted some basic taijutsu. Damon countered and punched him in the back of the head. Roughly 2.5 pages for each. So Kawaki and Boruto were both destroyed by Damon almost instantly. So it's possible that by baptism it means that both Kawaki and Boruto were given kind of a wake-up call to sort of show them that, you know, even though they are the way they are now, you know, even Kawaki with Ishiki's karma making him as powerful as he is, and even Boruto being 100% Otsutsuki, and even him saying that I have a better control over, I think it was the karma mark now, and saying that, yeah, I don't need the pills or whatever. Basically, they were kind of getting a little overconfident, and now in comes Damon, and he just like one shot KOs them and sort of gives them like a wake-up call, letting them know that, yeah, you guys may be powerful now, but you're still not hot shit, okay? You know what I mean? It's like, okay, you got a little bump in your stats, but don't think that that easily means that you can just walk all over people. Don't think for a second that that's the case. I wonder if maybe that's what's happening here, and if that's it, then I kind of like it, because I always do like it in stories whenever overconfident characters get a bit of a reality check. I have always really liked that in stories, and I do wonder if maybe that's what's happening here. So let's move on over to the next one. It says here, in the aftermath, Boruto regained consciousness alone on the sofa. Meanwhile, Ada had put Kawaki's head in her own lap and is like petting the shaved side of Kawaki's head while he's still knocked out. And if I know the internet, I know the second the chapter's getting released, people are going to share that image, and you're going to have people in the replies saying, oh, it should have been me or whatever, sharing that meme of Yami from the Yu-Gi-Oh anime going, oh, it should have been me or whatever. I know this fandom, I know how they work, or at least some people in the fandom. I know I'm going to see that once that chapter gets released. And Damon says, oi, Kawaki, wasn't my big sister's lap super soft? I don't know if Kawaki wakes up and he's telling him this. I don't know why he'd be telling him this if Kawaki is still knocked out. Again, more context when the actual chapter gets released. So the last one that we have here is the chapter ends with Shikamaru, Naruto, and Amuro calling into the living room intercom to address Kawaki, Ada, Damon, and Boruto. A preview for chapter 75 on page 41. What a sudden start to their turmoils. Their room share mission with their unpredictable ruffian siblings begin. So that's the chapter, and something that I do want to talk about is it's interesting that they, at least seemingly, they didn't follow up on what happened in the previous chapter, at least in regards to the character of Sasuke, because we know Sasuke also sensed Momoshiki manifesting. It wasn't just Kawaki, so maybe we'll get a part of the chapter where Kawaki's probably talking to Boruto about what happened, and we'll get Boruto's thoughts on it. And I find it interesting that we're not really shown how Sasuke reacts to this, and we do know that, you know, like the way they're writing this, we know that they sometimes have Sasuke out there doing things behind the scenes. So I do wonder if maybe Sasuke went off to try and maybe create some countermeasures against what he realized was happening. So again, that's just my prediction, because the last time Sasuke was, you know, just, you know, off screen, like he was out doing whatever, we didn't really know what was happening. And then when he does show up again, it's revealed that, oh, he was searching for information on code and everything about him in the land of snow. So we do know that they have Sasuke doing things in the background. We just don't know what it is now, and I'm just guessing that maybe by not having him here, they're probably setting something up for him in the future. That's just my guess. I could be wrong. We'll have to wait and see. But for now, guys, that's going to be the end of the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, like I said. And while you're here, consider leaving a like, sharing this video out there, hit the subscribe button if you haven't, ring the bell for notifications if you do, and I hope I see you guys in my next video. Bye for now.